Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm going to start in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear learners, how are you? I think all of you are safe and sound at home. We are going to conduct our new class on your English assignment number 3. In this new assignment in English, you can see that there is a grammatical problem that you have to solve. In your English grammar and composition book, in page 183 and 84, especially in 183, there is a conversation, a dialogue between two persons, between Anthro and Amy. In this dialogue, there are a lot of gaps that have to be filled up, and we have to remember one thing, that at first we have to fill up the gaps, and side by side we have to use passive form of the verbs. That is why we have to know what is passive form or what is passive voice. Otherwise you cannot fill up these blanks. Okay, let me just discuss what is passive voice and how can you make passive from active. Okay, in terms of making passive voice, you have to remember a lot of things. First one is use of to be verb. Okay, and use of verb, main verb. You can see that to be verb and main verb. Okay, in passive voice or in passive form, you have to use to be verb. So to be verb will be in many forms. It may be am is there. It may be was, were, it may be, will be, or shall be. In some instances, it will be being or been. Okay, now the question is that, okay, when you will use am is a, when you will use was, were, when you will be, shall be, or when you will use being or be. Okay, so in terms of making passive voice or passive form, if you find present indefinite tense, okay, you have to use am is there. If you find past indefinite tense or past simple tense, you have to use was there. Okay, in terms of making passive voice, if you find past future indefinite tense, okay, in active you have to use will be or shall be in terms of making passive. When you find continuous tense, any continuous tense, present continuous tense, past continuous tense, future continuous tense, you have to use this be. If you find perfect tense, it may be present perfect, it may be past perfect, it may be future perfect, you have to use this be. Okay, so these are the rules of making passive voice, especially when you have to use this to be verb. You cannot use this to be verb directly in passive voice. You have to use these symbols, these auxiliary verbs. Okay, especially am is there, was there, will be, shall be. Okay, so comes to number word, this one, verb. In passive voice, or if you are asked, okay, to use passive form, you have to use past first form of the verb. Okay, suppose, look at the whiteboard. Present form, past form and past participle form. Okay, do, did, done. Okay, so take, to, taken, invite, invited, invited. So, in terms of making passive voice or just for using passive form in a sentence, you have to use past participle of the verb always. You know that verb has three forms: present form, past form, and past participle form. Okay, so you can see that do is present form, did is past form, done is past participle form. That means in passive voice, or if you are asked to use passive form, you have to use past participle of the verb. If you don't know these rules, you will be in trouble in making a passive voice or using passive form. Okay? So come to our discussion. So you know that in your grammar and composition, English grammar and composition book of class 9 and 10, you know that in page 183 there is a dialogue between Antura and Amy. Okay, so these are the clues of making or filling up the blanks of these dialogues. Okay, so you can see that there are 9 clues or points that should be used in filling up the blanks of a dialogue between Antura and Amy. Okay, you can see that you will find this clue in page 184 of English grammar composition of your book. Okay, so if you open at page number 184 of English grammar composition, okay, you will get this or you will have these clues. Okay, so you can see that here there are 9 clues and I have to use these clues. By using these clues, you can fill up the blanks that you have been asked. Okay, so these were, first one is where the photograph take. These words are not in a accurate form. Okay, and you have to rearrange these words. By rearranging these words, you can make a sentence. Okay, but one thing is that at first you have to rearrange these words. First one is okay, and second one is you have to use passive form. There are 2 things here. Remember, first one is you have to rearrange these words. Okay, and second one is you have to use passive form or you have to make it passive. So first one is where the photograph take. Okay, come to number 1. It is answer. Okay, where the as I have told you that you have to use passive form or you have to use passive sentence here. So where is this one? The photograph. So it is, you have to use past unit tense. So where the photograph? Here will be was. That means if you want to use to verb for the past unit tense, you have to use was or where. If the subject is singular, you have to use was. If the subject is plural, you have to use were. So this photograph is singular, that's why I have used was. Or if the subject or photograph is plural, that means photographs. If this one is plural or photographs, you have to use were. So here I have seen that, you can see that where the photograph is singular number. That is singular number. You have to use was. If the photograph was if the photograph is photographs, that means plural form, you have to use where. So where was the photograph taken? That means it is take. Take is in present form of verb. Okay. So in passive form or in passive voice, you have to give or put past participle form of the verb. What is the past participle form of the take? Is taken. The answer will be where was the photograph taken if the subject is plural, if the subject is singular, where was the photograph taken? If the subject is plural like photographs, where were the photographs taken? Okay, answer number 2. When they take, that means here will be a question mark or put a question mark. Okay, because you can say that is WH word. Okay, so there will be a question mark here. When they take, that means when they take. Okay, when they take. So it's also an interrogative sentence. Okay, we know that interrogative sentence starts with WH word or auxiliary verb. Okay, so when they. It is also past tense. Okay, that means Amy asked Antura when were they taken. That means when were the photographs taken. Okay, when were the photographs taken. Okay, so you can see that in passive voice they use to verb. So it is interrogative sentence of past infinite tense. Okay, that is why I have used where. When were they taken? So as it is passive voice or you have been asked to use passive form, that is past participle form of take. When were they taken? Come from verb C. I not invited. That means Amy was not invited. I not invited. So that means it is an occurrence incident. It is an incident of past tense. So you have to use to verb here. Okay. So what kind of verb will be used here? If the tense is past tense, you have to use was here. So for I, you have to use was. I was not invited. So invited. Here, invite is in present form of verb. As you have been asked to use past passive form, you have to use past participle form of the verb. So invited. So I was not invited. Number D. The party not planned. That means the party not planned. That means the party. You have to use to verb before not. Okay. So I have told you earlier that you have to use past simple in the past simple tense. So here will be was. The party was not. Okay. Then is here in present form. You have to use past present form of the verb. Then the party was not planned. Okay. So in your English grammar and conversation book at page 183, here will be two gaps. I want to mean that in number D you will have two gaps like this. The party was not planned much early and sorry that okay, sorry that you can see that you were not invited. Okay, actually, here is a gap. It's a gap, and also it was also gap. In your grammar and condition, in this grammar condition book, at page or in page 183, you will find this one, especially number D. There will be gap. Only will find after the gap, much, and this sentence early and sorry that there is a gap and not this gap. Okay, so you have to fill up this. The party was not planned much early and sorry that you are not invited. Okay, you can write like this. Like dot 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 dot. The party was not planned. Dot dot. You were dot invited. Okay. So this is the answer of number D. I have told you earlier that in number D you will have two gaps. Okay, like this. First gap one. This one is first gap. Okay, and this one is second gap. Okay, you can see that. So talking about E, how many people invited? That means many people invited. So many people invited. That means you have to use over here. Many people were invited. As it is past infinite tense, you have to use to verb. And for past tense, was will be used instead of to verb. And as it is a passive voice, you have to use invited. Past corresponds the verb invite. Many people are invited. So a big party arranged soon. Here will be answer will be a big party. A big party. So, a big party, you can see that here is a word soon. Soon symbolizes, okay, refers to future. Okay, that is why you have to use past future indefinite tense here. So, what is the what will be used in this gap instead of to be verb? I have earlier told you that we have to use will be or shall be, okay, in terms of making passive voice for future indefinite tense. Here will be will be. A big party will be arranged soon. So here is a arranged in present form. Here I have used past for the form of the verb, as you have been asked to use past passive form. How many people invite? That means Amy asks Ankura, how many people are invited? So, as it is an interrogative sentence, you have to put question mark at the end of the sentence. How many people are invited? Okay, how many people invited? Who will be invited? This is also an interrogative sentence. That's why I have put question mark at the end of the sentence. And you can see that Amy asks Ankura, in future, how many people will be invited? Okay, for the party. So, will be here instead of to verb and invited, past form of the verb invite. So I not surprise. That means in your English grammar competition book, you can see that in a dialogue, okay, it is the statement of me. Here you can see that I apostrophe am. That means I am. It has been written in short form or contraction. I am. That means I am. I am not that surprised. So I have told you that I have to use to appear. So if the sentence is present continuous tense of active voice, if you want to make it passive, okay, you have to use being. I'm not being. I'm not being surprised. So learners, dear learners, I think all of you have understood. So you will have a dialogue between Antra and Amy. In this dialogue, you will see a lot of gaps, and in your assignment 3 of English, you have been asked to fill up all the gaps by using passive form. So I have discussed how to make passive from active. Okay, I have also discussed especially the use of to be verb and the use of passive form. Okay, so in terms of filling up these 9 gaps, okay, you have to remember that at first, okay, at first you have to remember that in page 108, 84, you will have 9 clues. Okay, so at first you have to rearrange these words. First one is, and then you have to use basic form of the verb. So I think all of you have understood all these answers, and you will be benefited, okay, from this discussion. Okay, if you have any question, okay, you should, okay, try to understand it. Okay, okay. Then if you have any problem, you can contact with us by phone. Okay, and in our next class, we will discuss a new topic. Till then, Allah Hafiz.